Welcome to the Value Builder Podcast, where we focus on real estate with a value-add mindset. Real strategies, real operators, real outcomes. Let's dive in.
Welcome, Value Builder community. Today, I'm excited to introduce my friend Braden Souder. He attended our small bay industrial boot camp, and he is a commercial real estate investor and operator based in Orlando, Florida. And he just closed on an incredible value add deal. He picked it up 45,000 square feet small bay industrial property. He bought it for $110 a foot, which is significantly under market value. This is textbook value play straight from the playbook. The property is on the market both in terms of rents and in terms of what he bought it for. And it leads to automotive tenants on short-term leases. Braden's strategy is simple, but of course very powerful. He is gonna update property. He's gonna make it more appealing, handle some minor repairs, and over time will increase the quality of tenants while bringing the rents to the market, which is significantly below right now. Right now, market rates are $13 to $15 a foot, triple net. He is right now 30-40% lower than that. Now, once he executes this plan, property will be close to $175 or more per foot, and that's roughly $8 million in value. He bought it for $5. And of course, it'll take time to get it done, even though capital expenditure is not a lot, probably a couple $100,000. Obviously, updating tenant pool and increasing tenant quality will take work. That's why exactly Braden reached out to me. And today's call will be brainstorming and coaching session focused pretty much on one key question: how do you lease up that property very effectively and update this tenant pool and quality tenants? This is going to be a simple Q&A format, and I'll ask him some questions about the property. He's going to ask questions about lease up strategy and how do we leverage tools like Facebook Marketplace and other tactics. So please welcome my friend Braden Souder. And for anyone out there trying to lease small bay industrial properties, this is going to be an incredible, valuable session. We're going to walk through all the tools and tricks we do effectively in our company. And by the end of this hour, we'll be far better equipped to lease up your own property. So let's dive in, guys. So show me the property that you bought. And when did you buy it?
I closed last month.
Nice.
So this is the property right here.
Okay. So those two buildings, right?
Yeah, this one, both go back pretty far. You got some frontage. I mean, could technically be retail if you wanted it. We got it right there. It's filled with mechanics right now.
Only mechanics. So those mechanics are from both sides of the base, or I mean, let's say if we're going to drive in the property from the back, there is garage doors as well, or no?
Yeah. Actually, let me go back and I'll show you the aerial view. So here's street side where we were, right? So only like full drive through. You can drive through here and you through there. And then this is all, one-sided. They don't go all the way through. This is all offices or, warehouse, industrial warehouse. Same thing on that side. So it's double-sided around the back side. Right here. Except it's only one side. We have a lot of parking. Parking's pretty good.
How big are the bays?
Most of them are about 1,000 square foot, give or take. I got my rent roll right here. I'll tell you.
Okay.
So most of them some are 5,600 feet, but most of them are around that 1,000 square feet. One that's 2,100, 1,500, 4,000. I would say the majority is around 1,000, 1,500.
Makes sense. All right. Do all the units have bathrooms or no?
Yeah, all of them have bathrooms. Also, it's block construction. It's not that old. I think it's built or might be early 2000. I can't remember.
Okay. All right. And so everyone, and how much are you getting right now for them? What's the top line, I guess?
How much am I getting currently?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I am currently getting not that much. Let's see. This is the total. I mean, a lot of it breaks down to $8 a foot, $10 a foot, something like that.
Okay. So he's leasing per square foot. He's not leasing like, $1,500 for 1,000 square feet, right? He's leasing per square foot right now?
They were on flat rates. Like they're gross. So here's the rates right here, if you can still see my screen. So monthly rate, this one's $3,300 for 5,600 square feet. 962 square feet is $841, $792, $841, and so on. Here's what I believe we can get is 14 to 15 bucks a foot triple net. Or, 1,200 to 1,250 in total. Approximately 1,000. They're 962 square feet.
Do you think you can push to 1,500, or is it going to be too much?
I think that's going to be too much. The market is at about $15 a foot triple net topped out. I've seen some for like $20 a foot gross. The triple net fees are around $3 a foot, give or take, which is kind of reasonable.
Yeah, so since your units are either slightly different size and a slightly different configuration, I think some of the closer to closer to the busy street, I would price them a little bit different. Meaning, every single unit I would price them called, like, one is $1,250, another one is $1,150. To make that, you've had in the past self-storages, right?
A while back. I mean, I have one other small bay up in Daytona,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
we have to price it by the square foot when you put it on CoStar, LoopNet, Crexi, wherever. But I do agree. We try to put it on Facebook as well, or Craigslist, and we just put X amount of dollars in total, $1,250 or $1,000 a month or $1,150, whatever it is.
Yeah, so when you put on Crexi on a LoopNet, you want to price them as a triple net, right? So let's say there's going to be 12, you can calculate how much are going to be cams. Probably it's going to be $3.50 to $4 is going to be on insurance, taxes, and cams, right? So you still want to do the pricing, call it $1,300 or $1,350. And from that price, you just subtract your IT cams, and every single unit is going to be slightly different rate on the base rent. So maybe that's going to be, $1,250. Another unit is going to be 13, 11, and then another unit is going to be $1,150. But since this is like micro units, it's a small bay, but it's almost like micro units. You want to really price them differently, and most of your inventory will go through Facebook and through for sale sign, for lease sign. So definitely since you have a busy street, you want to put big for lease sign, and it's gonna be saying just like, under new management, full lease, no branding, no nothing. Put like, white letters in a black font, full lease under new management. That's my experience. It would be the the best. Don't put anything else in terms of pricing or whatnot. Just only for lease under new management. I send that number typically in a call rail, whatever you use, but use call rail. We have a bunch of numbers. Yeah, and then the call rail, just send it to whoever is going to be showing the unit. So Crexi, LoopNet. You're probably not going to get too many leads from these sources. I would still probably buy LoopNet Silver subscription, if possible. Yeah. Are you guys brokers or no?
My wife is an agent, but we don't really use that. We do have access to MLS and stuff, but that doesn't help us a lot with this.
Yeah. So again, it's you close by there, right? You're typical. How far do you live from there?
This one's a little bit of a drive. It's about an hour and a half from me.
Okay, so you need an agent or either a broker. So here's how we do it. It's 50,000 square feet, right? You said 50,000 square feet?
45.
Okay. So you can go two ways. You can either hire broker, but then he's going to want typically commissions regardless if you gave him the lead or not. Or you can structure as a property manager. We have a maintenance guy, or if you have someone on the ground over there, we pay, depending on the area, between $25 to $50 a showing, because 80% of your leads will be generated between Facebook and for sale signs. You're probably going to be writing only 1 out of 10 leases from the brokers, and because those are micro units.
Say that part again.
Only 1 out of 10 leases you're going to be writing from the broker. From broker lead. Most of the leads will come in from for lead signs and from Facebook leads. So if you have manpower to coordinate those tours, I would hire local maintenance / property manager guy, or someone possibly even who is on site already. Someone maybe who is on site and you have a good relationship. Maybe someone wants to make like $25 or $50. per tour. Just give him the pricing, every single unit that you're going to be showing, and just pay him per tour, and he's going to be able to do that.
Interesting. I didn't think about that, which I should have, but
You
you're
see?
right on. Pay per tour. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Do you offer
you will say about 100 grand. You're not gonna spend 100 grand on releasing this property, but you're probably gonna spend, I don't know, 5 grand to the tour, to the someone who is showing that, and you're gonna write your own leases.
Yeah, because there's a broker that I'm familiar with, but he's already got a couple other properties that are similar to this. But he's local and he could be the guy that does the showings and stuff. He wants 6%. And I think that's a little bit too much. I think like 3%. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Unless
so you
there's
can you can go two ways. Look, in the past we've done two ways, right? Did that broker find you this deal? Who found you this deal?
No, it's not the guy that found me the deal. And the guy that found me the deal, he doesn't, want to deal with leasing or anything like that.
Oh, in that case, you can hire this broker. He's gonna put that listing on LoopNet, on Crexy, and he's gonna get you those leads.
Which is what we can do ourselves.
Yeah, but that would be totally fine. Let's say if you would agree to take the listing agreement, excluding the leads that you generate yourself. So let's say if you give him the listing, which will be called non-exclusive listing, but he can list on LoopNet and Crexy. It's gonna be very minimal leads, and he give him no commissions on all those leads. But if he can give you an exception for the leads that you generate yourself, or on renewals, or anyone comes in from referrals from existing tenants, because you also want to put a word out for your existing tenants. If they bring you the lead, you give them 1 month free. You're going to get some leads like that.
The only thing that I worry about with existing tenants, which I think that's a great strategy, is the current ones. I'm not ready to kick them out yet, but they're like half the rate.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about telling them what the new rates are going to be and them, just leaving a little early. That's the only thing I worry about with the existing tenants right now.
Yeah. So our experience, half of those tenants will leave probably if you're gonna raise them right away. Which I don't know if you have capacity to hold it, for some time vacant, which is not gonna be long, I believe, in that market. But last time we just ripped the band, right away. We just ripped the band-aid right away, and just we send the letters that will be increasing to the market, and they should go shopping for the market rate, and the ones who cannot sustain, they leave it, and the ones who are able to pay, they don't leave it, because they can't find anything new. At the same time, I would suggest to start doing repairs or renovations right away before you send out those letters.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already started putting a fresh coat of paint on it. One of the buildings has a new roof. We're getting it looking a lot nicer and freshened up. And it wasn't in bad condition anyways, but we're making it look like brand new right now before we tell everybody what the new rates are. And I don't want to totally rip the Band-Aid off. I mean, we have, how many units do we have? We got like, I don't know, 20 something units.
Yeah.
So we're doing maybe like 5 or so. We got about 27 units. We're doing maybe about 5 or 6 at a time. I'm actually having my attorney send out letters to several of the ones that are kind of crappy tenants right now, saying, hey, we're not renewing your lease. And once we get those leased up or close to it, we'll start doing the next round. And I don't want to rip the whole Band-Aid off because I want to cover the mortgage.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it that way. If there are some units that you want to not extend right away, you can do those. Then you white box them. You lease up at the higher rates, at the market rates. We call them market rates. And then when you have market rates, you have kind of, hey, look, we're leasing at those. You don't have to serve them 30-day notice, but look, we need to get to markets. You need to start shopping, and that's how we approach it. Look, we need to start shopping because we need to we need to get those rates to market. And if you have some work to go, please go. But if not, I'm happy to have you, but you have to be somewhere close by what other guys are renting. But yeah, I would still do the pricing matrix for yourself, where you have to price them as the unit. $1,500, $1,200, $1,300 each and every unit, and that's how I would start. On the broker side, I would try to hire if he can do exclusive. If he doesn't want to do exclusive, then probably you want to just
Not
list
exclusive,
yourself.
you mean?
Yeah, non-exclusive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he can write this up, which some brokers will be okay and some not. Many of them, they just want to sign, they want to have LoopNet and Crexy presence. That's fine, because you're not gonna get a lease out of those sites. I just know it.
Gotcha.
Yep.
As far as if we I don't know if I want to use a broker right now, like we were saying. But if it's non-exclusive, we bring lead. What do you pay him on the leads that you would bring and versus the leads that he brings?
So in an ideal situation, you do a non-exclusive, and I pay you only on your deals. On my deals, I don't pay you. The middle solution is, all right, we'll pay you only half of the fee. Say you agree, 6% on those small units, kind of fair. I don't think you're gonna less than that. But on your deals, I'll pay you 6% or 5% commission. It's not a big commission, but on my deals, I'll pay you only 2.5. But you're gonna help me to write the lease, right? Yeah, so that would be middle scenario.
You said help what? You say help write the lease?
Because you need to, yeah, write the lease, meaning when the lead deal is closed, someone needs to write up the lease, take the deposit, and stuff like that. So it depends on how much help you want from the broker. Because if you're not going to pay him, you'll still need to figure out who is showing that unit.
Right. And I think that's the better way to do it. Maybe we just pay per showing. The guys that you pay per showing, do you offer them any bonus for when they're leased or just by the showing?
Yeah, it depends, on it's case by case. So let's say in Creed property, I do pay the guy $1,000 bonus for the lease if it's signed, but he also helps me to chase it, chase the tenant. So he's not a broker, but he's able not only to show, but also is kind of help me to follow up.
I've been
Let's
like a
say
pretty thousand sounds kind of high to me. I would think that maybe like $500 or something.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
thousand
So
generous.
he's local, and he's kind of wanted this. But let's say when we use VAs, we have VAs asset managers. So the way it works is they get $200 bonus, but they're writing the lease and also they negotiating the lease on a small lease. I'm paying $200, but they're kind of gaining monthly salary for that. So it really depends. But I think 500 probably works if you can find someone who is able to sell. A lot of times property managers don't know how to sell. Yeah, yeah. So but paper showing, and probably can find someone out of those 20 tenants who is decent tenant over there who is able to do that.
Yeah, I don't anticipate majority of the tenants staying, like not even 50%. I think that 80% of them are going to go. And I do want the majority of them to go because they're all auto, pretty much all auto. And I don't want to have a complex full of auto tenants, which is what this guy's idea was to do when he built it. But now that he sold it to me, that's not my goal. I want to have a better mix of tenants, not have to deal with guys that are so messy. They have tons of cars parked everywhere. So the goal is to turn it over with majority of new tenants.
Yeah, in your lease, I don't know. Yeah, what does in your lease? In your lease, that define how many cars they can have.
Yeah.
We typically I don't want to have assigned spaces. If possible, not do assigned spaces, but just define how many cars they have per unit. And in some occasions, you need to go by assigned spaces.
Why do you not like to do assigned spaces?
It just because when you do a full property, especially it kind of limits your flexibility. To explain you that, for example, let's say you have some tenants, especially in those micro units, they will not have and but if you assign them 2 spaces or 3 spaces, if another tenant comes in and he wants 8 spaces, you kind of don't have where to put them. But if you have almost like flexible entire 150 spots parking lots, and you just assign them up to 2, and that the other guy or doesn't bring any cars, out of those 30 people, 5 don't bring any cars. So when someone comes in, I don't know, ambulance services, with 5 or 6 drivers regularly, you kind of know that you okay to give them, not even assigning those 2 spaces. Because sometimes if you're gonna assign them, you're gonna assign them only that much, right? But if you have some tenants who don't have any cars, so if some once in a while a tenant comes in who has more cars but good tenant, you just give them,
Yeah. Yeah.
that space. So you should like more flexible.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. But occasionally, you become only automotive, if there's a stricter way to do it. We tried even stickers like in apartment complex, but that's additional level of management.
Yeah. We thought about that as well, but I just felt like it made it more complicated,
It's complicated, man. No, it's really complicated. Yeah. So what I learned, ideally not assigned, but capped at how many cars they can park.
Okay, yeah.
and they should park only by their unit. Every week, I read hundreds of commercial real estate articles from across the US and around the world. I connect the signals, break down the Fed moves, and share real case studies, not theory, from my 2 decades of real estate experience and actively doing deals right now. My team and I spend 15 plus hours on a weekly basis and deliver this to you for free. You can read it in 5 minutes. So every Sunday at 9:07 a.m., you'll get major commercial real estate news that matters, one Fed insights that matters, one deep dive case study from me or one of our operators who already made the mistakes, so you don't have to. Thousands of commercial real estate operators and investors read this newsletter, especially in the value add space. And don't take my word for it. Check out hundreds of reader testimonials online. Plus, when you subscribe, you get instant access to a Proforma underwriting tool, the same one we use every single day to underwrite value add deals. Now, this is not for you if you're looking to get rich quick schemes, or if you're looking for theory and hallucinations, not real numbers, or you're not serious about commercial real estate. But if you want real tactics, real deals, real results, no bait and switch, go to joinvaluebuilder.com and subscribe for free. And see you there, guys.
You mentioned it earlier, I think, but how have you been successful in finding like a local maintenance guy to do showings?
Usually you would go on Facebook groups. We had success calling local realtor, but the best success actually is someone on the facility, on the property, who one of the tenants. That's most common.
Yeah, there's probably somebody that we could find in the complex that be willing to do that. Make a few
Yeah,
extra.
or just put an ad in Facebook Marketplace, or put an ad in Craigslist. You'll find someone, or just reach out in within a couple miles to the realtors, who has houses over there. Yep.
That's a great idea.
How much did you buy it for?
Got this one for right at 5 million. It's like 109, 110 bucks a foot.
110 bucks. And you said that you'll lease it at 12 roughly?
I think we'll release most of it at 15, maybe 14. I'd say 13 to 15, but 15 is a good for that area. Triple net.
Wow, nice. This is great, man. No, yeah, last one we exited over there at 7.5 caps, so we're probably somewhere between 175, 200 bucks a foot, you think? Stabilized?
Right on. You're right on. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Congrats. This is
Thanks,
great
man.
buy. This is great buy. Where'd you find it?
Broker.
Broker?
I call him all the time, and he called me and said, "Hey, I got a deal for you." Thing is, I wasn't his only call. I was just the fastest one.
So it did not go on the market, just like, hey, you want it, right?
Right. That's why I don't have an OM for it.
Nice. Amazing. This is great. Yeah, congrats. Super
Thanks,
happy
man.
for you. Yeah, great.
You
All right,
just need a couple more of those a year,
here you go, man. How many do we need, right? No, exactly. Let's look at like 180 times 45. Yeah, I mean, that's $3 million in upside, right? How much you're gonna spend on it? Do you think how much you're gonna spend
Not
on it?
much. Not much. I think we're spending maybe 50 to 75 on the paint. We might need to spend 50 to 75 on the roof, something like that. So 150, 200 grand at the most.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Great, great, great.
But what I've always done is just try and move fast
Nice.
and stay in touch with brokers, always calling if they have anything. And he's actually called me on a couple other deals before this that we weren't able to close because the seller changed their mind or whatever. I was like, well, look, I'm always looking for something. And it's funny because when the call came in, he said, I have a deal for you. Because he knew exactly what I wanted. And I try to negotiate down because I have to, save some money. But he's like, listen, if you want the deal, this is the price. I'm like, you're right. It's already a good price. I'll take it. So
Great. Awesome. Amazing. Congrats, man.
thanks, man.
Sure. All right. So let's move right now to Facebook. All right, cool. Let me show you what I have. So you've marketed before on Facebook, right?
Yeah, we do some right now. I don't know if we're doing it the best way, but that is where we get the majority of our tenants from. Like for my other properties, they usually come through Facebook. Now we have a lot of them that just don't respond, a lot of tire kickers, but either way, the majority of the properties that we lease or the spaces that we lease, the lead was through Facebook most of the time.
Yeah. So in that size, your best lead source will be Facebook. I don't think you need multiple accounts on that one because it's not a large property. So you have one Facebook account that is active and uh, has marketplace and it's seasoned. You just want to put an ad, something like that. Typically, your best conversion picture will be showing the garage doors. And in the subject line, you want to emphasize that it has garage doors, and how big are the spaces. And this is our typical traditional kind of the description of an ad. And we put probably 4 to 5 pictures. Most of the pictures have exterior interior doors and how unit looks like. And that's pretty much it. Sometimes also put to the map, but really, 4 or 5 pictures, short ad. And for that type of facility, once you approve an ad, once you find an ad that's working, because you may need to tweak 1 week to another week, maybe change the picture there and there. But once it's working, I would put $100 a day, $100 a day in boosting.
Wow. Okay.
I would start probably from maybe $10, $20, but once the ad is working, I would put $100 a day in boosting, and just make sure, just look at the spend, that you're not spending more than in my company. We don't want to spend more than $40 a lead. But if I keep it about $20 a lead, that's good. And definitely lead velocity is slower compared than last year or 2 years before. We used to do open houses. Right now, it's kind of hard to book open houses. Looking at all the markets, I think, lead velocity at least twice less than it used to be before. I think more people advertising on marketplace. But right now, just you need to find, many people don't boost as much as we do. So right now, just really finding an ad that converts, and if it converts, just boost it more money, right? And when you spend more, you don't want to spend. Take the ad down, put another one, make sure it converts, and add more dollars onto it. So that's kind of the strategy. I think you should be enough just with one ad, just running one ad. You don't need 3 or 4 or 5 ads.
When you
Or
say
this,
running one ad, so you're placing an ad, is this in Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, that's in Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, you want to
Facebook
place
Marketplace.
one ad. Yeah. Occasionally, when we have larger properties, we run, let's say, 3 or 4 Facebook accounts and multiple ads. Just we wanna grab as much territory as possible in that area. But within 50,000 square feet, you should be enough with one ad. I think one Facebook Marketplace and one ad.
And what about for the different unit sizes, though?
So I just right here. I just put like different unit sizes here. Like one. Maybe I can find.
You don't have a different ad for each different unit size.
No, no. I would just put in description.
That's
I
what
would
we've
just put
been
in.
doing for a while.
I just put in description. That different units. And I would not put like 30 unit sizes. I would put maybe like 5 units with the different sizes that I kind
Yeah,
of fit
it's just
fit all
kind of
the.
the few of the basic ones.
Correct.
Interesting. I didn't really think about you said $100 a day in boosting.
Yeah, once you find an ad that converts, it'll take you maybe a week or two to see which way is it converting. And when I say converts, usually is updating main picture, and probably subject line. Subject line, you want to really emphasize garage doors. Yeah, garage doors, and just play with that subject line a little bit. But typically, I put the office warehouse space with 12 feet garage doors, or 14-foot garage doors available, and sizes sometimes with no size, and just play with pictures. Yeah, and when it works, you just put more dollars behind it.
How do you decide if it works or not? What for you determines if it's performing well or not?
If you'll go on Meta Ads, on Facebook, Meta Ads dashboard on Facebook, you can see within a week how much your lead cost. And I don't want to spend more than $40. Between 20 and $40, that's fine for me. I would like to stay as close as possible to $20 a lead.
So actually, I haven't even got into that because I just always have my wife post it and she just boosts it. So we've never actually checked what our lead cost is. I have no idea what it is. I guess historically we could go back to some of our old ads and see which ones performed the best.
Yeah, which one performed best, and try to either even put the same ad, just in the address, and just replace the picture. So kind of copy that. But yeah, you really need to at least check once a week. Once a week, you need to check, how much you spend on it, because no, it'll have a fatigue eventually. Some ads they lasting long and longer, sometimes less, but they'll get a fatigue.
Yeah, what's like the ballpark time for that? Because like when I run ads on Indeed for employees, after about a month, after 28 days, the ad kind of fizzles out. And I kind of figured that out. Somebody, I guess, accidentally told me that. So we close it down, put up a new ad. How's it work with this?
We do it on a weekly basis, but we have like 40 ads running all the time. I would say in average, probably at least once a month, you need to take it down and replay, put up another one. There are ads running for 3 or 4 months that just keep producing leads, but at least once a month, I would say, like in average, you need to take them down and upload it and just put new pictures and play it with a little bit subject line and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess that should be a matter of checking our dashboard, which we never have before.
Cool.
Great reminder, man. Didn't even think about that.
No problem. No problem. Okay. So let's take it another one right now. Yeah, and right now you want to go quickly through the scripts?
Yeah, because we're getting a lot of people that are just they're responding, is this available? Is this available? Usually we respond with, yes, what type of business do you have? But then it's just silent most of the time. I'm trying to figure out an easier way to give somebody or a property manager or whoever kind
Yeah,
of an out.
well, you got the first question right. This is our questions, right? As soon as they ask the question, we usually say yes, yes, may I ask what business do you have? Um, I think the key to this is that someone has to stay on top of it and respond like immediately. Like it's really speed to lead. So in our case, we have 3 VAs who monitoring all the ads, and there's their job just to respond as soon as possible, right? So it has to be someone in your team, who doesn't, I mean. Yeah, you probably should not expect more than 5 to 10 leads a day. And nowadays, it's not a flood like it used to be before, but they have to be responded fast. The main question is just to go after the phone number. And usually we hit this question after 3 or 4 questions, which is, let me call you real quick. My number is, 630, 555 What is your number, right? We don't want to put this question the first, but typically it will be, hey, yes, it's available. May I ask what business do you have? Well, I have this and this business. Then we typically go, that makes sense. Is that existing business or new business? We want to see if it's a tire kicker or not. They give an answer, no. And then typically we go either right away, we're going to go, let me call you. Real quick, my number is this. What's your number? Or, we go a couple more questions. Got you. Do you have a rough idea how many square feet are you looking for? Just out of curiosity, give me a rough idea of your monthly budget. Don't worry, I won't hold you to it. And then we'll go. Let's say if the budget rule is small, the smallest they have in Orlando, for a $900 a month. I may be of base here, but this might be too big for you, isn't it? So these are the standard questions. Our VAs they just have it, on a Google Doc, but I have those on my phone on the notes. I used to have them, so I just copy and paste them. I don't think you can have templates on a marketplace unless it's meta ads. But a marketplace, I don't think you have to have templates, and that's how we do it. Then on old leads that are ghosting you, which believe it or not, we're still writing leases on those. Even if you have old leads, you can still follow up with them. Old leads that you already paid $20-$40, we are able to get some deals out there as well. So when leads that are not follow up, we go after 3 what we call go for no. So
Yeah.
the first one is off base. I may have maybe off base here, but I have a feeling that my buildings may be too large, or for your business, or you may have found something else. In any event, no hard feelings. Just let me know if you need anything else. Then day 2, there is another go for I don't want to bother you, but I also don't want to drop the ball and follow up. If I don't hear from you today, I'll assume you found another place to rent, and I'll archive this message. And the third day, I must have something wrong. If you ever need or rent a space in the future, please reach out. And people are not someone they bubble up.
Really, really great sales tactics and questions right there. And reminds me of my old house buying days. You really gotta go for the no and the hard sale and closing questions and all that stuff.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, this is from my housing days.
Exactly. It's great, man. It's great. I like it. And I also like how you put out there, this is my number, what's yours? So they know that you're not just like trying to collect information because you're putting out your information. That's a smart way of doing that.
Yeah, and this is the main question actually. You just don't want to go out of the bat. And sometimes Facebook does not like it if you go right away. So you need to sprinkle those couple questions, but this is the main question. You need to go after the phone number. So
Great
that's
reminder.
kind of in a nutshell, man. You should be good to go. If you do this, yeah, congrats on the property. But I think that's the script, and that's the
That's fantastic. Some of this stuff I kind of knew, but forgot about. I'm more just like I'm not dealing with the leasing side that much. I'm like, hey, go lease this. I just want to always find the next deal and solve the bigger problems of how do we get the property to perform. But we get it to perform through leasing them at good rates after
exactly.
it's fixed up.
Exactly. And you want to write leases, triple net leases, right? No, even though you're going to sell the unit price, but in the lease, you're going to spell out, this is going to be your base rent, this is going to be your IT cams. But,
Yeah, absolutely.
altogether is going to be one and the same price.
Yeah. Do want to ask, I see just your example here is about 10,000 square foot, 7,000 a month. That's just an example you have. We've done well with mostly 1,000 square foot plus or minus size. And you were saying you call those like micro units. You're still having the same success on Facebook with larger units of 10,000 square feet, 5,000 square feet?
Not really, rarely. We still get some leads over there, but everything what's above 10,000 square feet is really hard to lease in Facebook Marketplace. But I did lease some properties on, Milwaukee had 30,000 square feet unit lease from Facebook. It's not common, but we do have some leads also over there. So we still advertise large units as well.
What do you think is the best size range for Facebook ads or marketplace for leasing?
I think your size, those 1,000, 2,000 are the best. I think 5,000 is kind of fall off. Once above 5,000, I think it's getting harder to lease on Facebook. It's typically going to be broker tenants.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but wanted to find out your experience.
Yep.
Awesome.
Right, man. Yeah, I'm excited. This great property, great property. Super happy for you.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah,
Absolutely.
always looking for more. Maybe we can get a couple more before the year's over. Maybe a couple little small ones. We'll see what happens. I got some in the works.
Nice. So your bet channel of brokers right now. Do you do any direct to seller right now or no?
Have it in a while. I have this one lead that's kind of been hanging on where I can get a good deal on the property, but the leases are really long. And I got to wait them out. It's not going to cash flow. That was from direct mail, but I haven't done any direct to seller in a little while.
Nice. Yeah, but you can't beat this property now. Yeah, you don't have to spend money. Brokers bringing you. It's amazing. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah. So thanks for getting on a call. I appreciate that. I'm pretty
You're
sure
such a maker. You're helping me out, man.
here you go. Yeah, and actually, you're gonna teach other people who are learning this, and we're gonna share this on YouTube and a podcast. And thanks to you, thanks for sharing the property, and I'm happy to share what I can.
You've been listening to the Value Builder podcast. For more strategies, stories, and episodes, head to valuebuilder.co or subscribe on your favorite app. Always make it better than you found it and keep adding value. See you in the next one.